And we are live. We're going to be live fire today. 1, 2, 3, 4, right on the way. Got a bunch lined up. I have with the self-proclaimed chief Bitcoin historian. You guys probably all know him. We all know him. He's been around for a long time. Wuckert. I hope I said that right.
It's good enough.
Close enough. He is kind of a pillar in the community, especially in the BSV community, which is a very scalable blockchain. We were just talking about some of the things you can do with that. So tell me a little bit, Kurt, about maybe the market today and what brought you here to the conference.
Well, I'm a South Floridian, so for me it was hop in the car and just show up. I know the organizers. So the organizers are people that do meetups all around South Florida, and I go to a lot of them. We hang out, so we're friends. I'm here to support. And he was like, "Hey, we should do a booth." So we have actually the biggest booth at the event here is the CoinGeek Bitcade. We've got 6 TVs set up, all with our games, crypto fights, etc. All on the BSV blockchain using the Haste Arcade ILP protocol and all kinds of other cool stuff, and we're showing people what's up.
Nice. Well, very cool. So let's talk a little bit about your history. And first of all, hats off to Scott for putting this together. I know what it takes to put a conference together, and there's a reason I don't do them anymore. It's a lot of work for, in my opinion, not enough money. And that's kind of the long and short of it. So we like the galas now. You throw the event, we'll throw the gala. I get a lot more money, bang for my money, and still get to bring together the people that I really enjoy. But let's still talk a little bit about your history, how long you've been in crypto, and what got you involved with BSV.
So, man, my Bitcoin journey starts in 2012. A guy offered to pay me in what he said is like video game money. And I said, yeah, sure, what the heck. Didn't do much with it for about a year, but my brother actually, and me both were in common circles, and he was like, hey, I keep hearing about this Bitcoin thing. And I was like, hey, I think me too, and so we kind of went down that rabbit hole together, and we just started doing all kinds of stuff. It was like, wow, should we mine? Should we do this? And was ultimately pretty unsuccessful with Bitcoin for the first couple of years, but really led to really be involved in infrastructure and development things. I have a IT and cybersecurity background and have worked in that industry. Well, starting in like 2015 and then sort of rounding up 2017, Bitcoin means to me.
I don't know if, all right, well, we are live here. All right, we're going to continue. I see we got a comment on LinkedIn. Maybe I just missed my Twitter. I'm not sure, which is unfortunate, but we can reshare it out there. So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty long history that you've...
10 years of Bitcoin at this point, yeah.
Right, 10 years of Bitcoin. So you're known as the chief Bitcoin historian.
Yeah.
What do you think about the current state of the market? I mean, we were at $69,000. Now we've dropped to, 17 and a half?
Yep.
Whereas,
is it that bad today?
No, it's 21 something. So where do you think we go from here?
I think at the very least, I think we've got another big leg down, personally. Just a lot of the fundamentals in the market with all of these lending platforms and everybody's collateralized against everybody else. I think there's a giant fractional reserve across all of these custodians, all these big DeFi platforms. And I think all that rehypothecation has to happen at some point. And we know for a fact that regulators are digging, and they keep hunting for every week. There's new announcements like, this person's gotten indicted, this person's doing X. And I think as these shoes drop, depending on what order they drop, I think it could all of a sudden be another couple of big bloody days. And at some point there's a washout, and then I reassess. I don't want to try to call a bottom number or anything like that, but I think there's a lot of problems in the market that need to work themselves out before we're all ready to start breathing easy and being bullish again.
Well, historically, we do have this sideways action that happens after the big bottom. I think we're probably in that now. I would like to see it jump up a little higher, but so would we all, right? So now let's talk about some of the new developments. I know we were mentioning putting coins being able to actually go into the BSV stack. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So a lot of blockchains talk about layer 1, layer 2, and they mention their layer 2 protocols, but their layer 2 protocols don't actually run in the stack of their layer 1. So they're not really layer 2s. They're a side network. It's kind of like my bar tab is not a layer 2 to the Visa network. It's just a separate thing, and we settle it up at some point. And that's how most people use the terminology layer 2. In BSV, we actually have a very robust, flexible script stack. And we're the only blockchain that I'm aware of anyways that does not have what's called a standard transaction type. So in BTC Bitcoin, there are 6 ways to build a transaction. This is why you can't do complex smart contracts and various things on BTC. But in BSV, there is no such protocol rule that says a transaction must look like X. And so you can build very big, very complex transactions that allow for very complicated things that some people might call smart contracts, but I think it's a better term to call it. It's an app. It's an application. It's a program that follows rules. And if you can build an app and treat Bitcoin like a computer, well, then every other blockchain, instead of running in their own networks, can just run in the stack of a greater proof of work system. And so basically, rather than deploying on things like Ethereum, where you've got Ethereum's limitations, you can build on BSV and you don't have any of those limits. So you can be building things that require 100,000 transactions a second, or fees that are around 1,000th of a penny, regardless of how much volume there is on the network. And so there's a big opportunity to rethink your whole blockchain economy and then build in a way that you don't have to be we're not really doing much today because the network is too expensive or wallets, just whatever the problems that you expect.
Yeah, I always love it when some guy has to send me like a decent sized payment, like a few tens of thousands of dollars or something, and he's like, well, hold on, I'm gonna send it a little later, the fee's too high.
Yeah,
it's like, bro,
so
come
disruptive.
on, even if it's like 130 bucks, come on, let's keep this in perspective, okay?
Right.
But it hurts your feelings, right?
Yep.
You're like, what? I'm gonna pay that to send this? Like, come on.
I mean, if you can Western Union a bar of gold and it's cheaper, like, what have we disrupted?
Right. So then let me ask you this, and the proof of these coins running in that stack can still run their own proof of work.
Sure.
Their own token economy, not using BSV for their fees, like the whole bit.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. I think that's one of the coolest things that I've heard in a while. I'm in the space, so that's pretty awesome. So where do you go from here? What's your plan?
Well, we're here all weekend. CoinGeek.com. We're doing a CoinGeek Bitcade. I'm also presenting a pool. So we're a South Florida-based mining pool, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We hold the world record for the largest blocks ever mined, the most transactions ever mined, the largest transaction ever mined. We're like a Bitcoin. Do this, like, YOLO and give it a shot. Let's see if we do it. And so we hold all those records and having a good time.
The man, the myth, the legend, Kurt. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, Bruce.
We'll see you soon.